It's all fun and games till someone gets shot.
I just got done watching Fantastic Four, and I will say the movie is good. It's definitely a step in the right direction for Marvel. We all know they had a rough like 5, 6 years ever since Spider-Man, what was it, No Way Home? They just been wandering and just inconsistent. Politics, then weird plot lines, bad writing. With Fantastic Four, all of those problems are non-existent. What I will say, Fantastic Four isn't as action packed as Superman. Superman was crazy. It was a non-stop roller coaster. Some people were saying that it was doing too much, juggling too many things, too many plot lines. But Fantastic Four isn't like that at all. It's really just on the Fantastic Four, practically no side characters, and it just tries to highlight each one of their characters. The Thing, Ben, he is kind of like this father figure, elderly, wise type character. And then you have Human Torch. He's not like arrogant or brash. He actually is a interesting take on the character because he isn't a hothead. He shows this ability to think outside the box, to be smart, to be creative, but also multiple times throughout the film. By the way, spoiler warning, he tried to like sacrifice himself for the greater good of humanity, but also for his team. He's a hero not because of the abilities he has, he's a hero because of the things he's willing to do to make sure everyone else is safe. As the movie got going, they really developed his character and made him more three-dimensional instead of just a one-dimensional, flaming guy, ladies man type character. So that's something I thought was really cool as well. Sue, she wasn't too amazing. In my opinion, I think she was a very safe, like, type of character, kind of the main character of the story. A lot of the plot revolves around her and like her decision making, but I don't feel like she really did anything like that was too awe-inspiring. She more so was just a strong, like, protective mother, and that was her whole entire goal, is like protect, protect, protect. There's not really a character there. It's more so just like the motherly instinct, and I think she did that well. Her powers were really cool. The visual effects were on point for the whole movie, but her specifically, the way that they had her phase in and out and also just use some of her force abilities was really cool. Now, as for Reed Richards, he was the one character that I felt wasn't what I expected. He is supposed to be a genius, but a lot of the times throughout multiple parts of the movie, like the whole movie was about him not like figuring this out, not knowing that, not being a genius. And it's like, how's the smart character not smart? But then also his stretchy abilities was shown in smaller portions of the story, like him reaching for something, he stretches, right? That's really cool. It's just cool, those subtle uses of power. But then in the fight scenes where it counted, he really didn't do much. He just didn't use his abilities. Like, he's super powerful, and honestly the movie used it as a weapon against him. They turned his greatest strength into a weapon. In past iterations of the character, we've seen him stretching to no end, but in this movie, Galactus grabs him and pulls him a little bit, and his suit starts to tear, and he starts to like scream and whatnot. It was a cool scene. I get what they were going for, but I think it would have been really cool if they had Galactus really pull. Like, you know how you pull and you keep pulling and it doesn't stop? I think that would have sold the point more. His stretching powers is like really, really powerful, and in that scene it greatly diminished it. Him being one of the strongest Marvel characters and this being his portrayal is just something that didn't sit with me as like a Fantastic Four fan, but everything else was really cool. One thing that I thought was awesome too was the new Silver Surfer. So in the comic books, there's two of them. There's the guy Silver Surfer, which everyone knows, and there's also this girl character. The way that the movie is set up, it seems like they could actually introduce the guy. The girl basically joins Galactus to save her home planet from being destroyed, but at the end she betrays Galactus, and Galactus is probably going to come back. He's probably still out there. That teleport is probably not enough to keep him away. He shows up again, but this time he has the true Silver Surfer there at his side, and he's playing no games this time around. That's something that I think would be really cool, but just focusing on the Silver Surfer's character, I think that that character was really cool, and I think that they made them kind of more of a threat than Galactus. Galactus is this really powerful character, but he really didn't do anything but walk and sometimes use the Force. Other than that, he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't even try to attack them, to try to like use abilities on them. He's just walking to his destination and they're trying to stop that vehicle, you know? So it's like, I kind of didn't get that part. Silver Surfer was the real threat. She was the one who was, ruined their plans of teleporting. She was the one who was chasing them down. They made that character so cool and so threatening. She felt like a hurdle that they couldn't overcome. And once again, when you talk about the Human Torch and what made that character so cool, he tries multiple times to reason with her and figure out why she's doing it, who is she, and just learn all these things about her. And they drop it into the movie so subtly to where you don't even know the plan that he's creating. But once it all comes to fruition, it finally clicks. Like, he's trying to convince her and win her over, and they were able to do that. So her being absent from the final battle, but then showing up at the final moment to basically sacrifice herself is really cool. The movie Fantastic Four as a whole was really character driven. Marvel really wants you to believe in them, in the world, and the story they're trying to tell. The action, the chaos, all of that stuff is second. And you can see that they really wanted the viewers to believe in the story that they were telling and be engaged with it. When you look at the past few movies that Marvel has been doing, things are starting to move back in the right direction. You have Thunderbolts and you have Fantastic Four. Both of these movies are pretty decent and they're actually getting better and better and better. Wondering what comes next is starting to become a thing now for Marvel. They still have a long way to go before they can reach those end game days, but movies like this is going to be the foundation to birth that excitement and that joy and that passion in people once again. This movie has some ups, it has some downs. It's not perfect by any means, but it's still a great character story driven movie. One thing I did like about this movie as well is the space travel. Ever since Interstellar, I've viewed space differently for movies. Of course, Interstellar is like a super high bar to, keep up with, but I think this movie did a good job. Their wormhole transportation through space, the visual effects of that was really awesome, especially the chase scene coming back when Silver Surfer was on them. I like how the bullets warped with the wormhole. I feel like Marvel of 4 years ago, they wouldn't have done that. Another great subtle detail is how they incorporate a lot of like modern technology and space science into this movie. When the rocket shoots up to space, it detaches multiple of the engines, but they don't just fall and crash into the ocean. You can see that they like are kind of mimicking what Elon Rockets does now, where they realign and guide themselves and land. It shows a small portion of it if you pay attention and look for it, but someone like me who looks for those smaller details was definitely looking, and I was pleased by what the movie was offering. Those small details showed up in so many ways, and it made the movie as a whole feel so much more authentic. Lastly, I am interested in what will come next for Fantastic Four, considering that this is the first steps. You have Galactus way off in the middle of nowhere. He probably will recruit the next Silver Surfer. But then you also have what should be his ship just hovering outside of Earth atmosphere. And I wonder how that will be either deconstructed, dismantled, removed. What will be done about that massive planet-eating ship? Maybe it will just be destroyed, but the movie kind of didn't tap into that too much. And that's an explanation that I would like, because you would assume that that ship somehow is connected to Galactus and maybe he could teleport back to it, maybe he can summon it. That part of the movie wasn't tackled, it was kind of glossed over, but maybe that's something that a future movie would do. Regardless though, good movie, great direction for Marvel. If they keep this up, they'll be back on top soon.